always in. The trade of trading for traders. Hosted by NephewElite and RexDog Actual from RexDogTrading.com.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Welcome to the first episode of Always In. This is RexDog Actual. NephewElite, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, so you know the voice if you're not familiar with who we are. In today's first episode, Are You Crazy? We're going to approach it from a couple different angles. At the end of the show, I've listened to, and NephewElite, how many trading podcasts have you listened to?
Probably around 10, 15, 14, quite a few.
Like quite a few episodes, or just have you kind of bounced around?
Just bouncing around. I mean, nothing really caught my attention.
The reason why I ask is I've done a deep analysis of this space, and it says, does the world really need another trading podcast? And if so, can we offer something unique? Obviously, the show's here, so we've answered that question. So at the end of the show, we'll discuss the reason for us starting the show. If you're not familiar with us, if you're not introduced to us, we'll get into that towards the end. We want to get into the meat of the topic, which is, are you crazy? And I'm going to approach it from a particular angle. And NephewElite, I know there are traders out there that are just getting started, or traders that are trading, that this type of conversation they will recognize. And it's something that if you're just starting trading, it's something you need to consider, figure out how to deal with. And that's where I would ask NephewElite, are you crazy? Are you crazy for considering trading? And let me preface this with this question, which is, for those that don't know, NephewElite is relatively new to trading. I've been trading for over 6-7 years, profitable trader. And I've taught my nephew to trade, and he's transitioning to becoming a trader now. And he's shared that with people in his life. And this is where I think a great conversation could be had around, what have you experienced as you shared with people that, hey, trading, I can be a trader. It's where I'm going.
It's actually pretty funny to think about where I was originally trying to tell every single person that I was a trader compared to how I am now. Being very reserved with the information of being a trader, because everyone that I talk to first, the first thing they ask me is like, are you sure you can do it? It's always the doubt. The first thing on their face is always the doubt. If you're going to be able to make it or not. Obviously, the stock market's hard. And then everyone thinks you're just going to be trading stocks. And if you do just trade stocks, I mean, that's the conception that everyone thinks. And it's just very annoying, and mentally it's abusive to yourself when you're trading. That's what you're thinking about constantly. You know, can I do this? Now I am taking losses. Is everyone correct? And being able to strive through that, I think, is what creates real traders. You know, finding the struggle with anything in life and pushing past it is how you become better at something, and how you become obsessed. The obsession is what will win every single time. And that, for me alone, changed my mindset from being very in a bad place, where questioning myself, questioning if I could even trade, where I should be at. Instead, to my mentality now is very focus based. I am a trader. I am going to become profitable. This trade went against me. That's fine. The next trade is going to be available. The market's open tomorrow. The difference in mindset alone has made me think I'm crazy.
The difference, I think, in your journey to becoming a trader, to many people that are listening, or many alphas and everything else, is you actually know someone in real life, your uncle, that is a trader, that is a successful trader. Now, the people in your life know me. Some of them know me, some of them don't. I don't readily share with them my P&L, my success, or anything, and I don't want to. I don't want them involved, really. I don't want them involved at all. You're a little bit unique. This is why I think it's interesting. You're a little bit unique because actually there's someone they know that has the success
And skills.
and skills So it's not like you're just jumping in and you just said, "Hey, I just bought a course," and of course, some that there's nothing wrong with doing that, but you didn't just randomly show up to some conference and say, "You know what? I'm a trader." Come back after a weekend and said, "I'm going to be a trader." You know someone, but you're still facing the same type of doubt,
Hmm.
and I know it comes from a place of caring.
Yeah, it's obviously from, all love. They want the best for me. But then there's also where, I preach about how I am only 6 months into reading charts, but I look how I'm predicting each move in the market. Look how I'm analyzing all these charts, and I'm actually becoming profitable, even if it is demo or not. Like, I'm still reading charts correctly, keep my P&L within 3,000, restarting every day, trading correctly. They don't see any of that, and they hear it, but they're never going to understand. That's why to be a trader, you have to be crazy, because you're going to be in isolation. It's you against everybody. It's especially when you're in the market. And when you're outside the market, it's going to be the same thing as a trader. But you have those like-minded people who are there, which is Rex, dog actual, obviously my uncle. He's also there to push me and strive me. And that's what has kept me sane throughout this. But I still believe I am nuts for being a trader.
It would have
But
been
I love it.
harder. It would have been harder
Oh, yeah.
if you didn't have a group in a community, which I understand.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, but I literally started going, if you can imagine a track, I started going uphill. Usually, if I would have started myself, I probably would have started downhill and climbed into the depths of whatever and never gotten out in trading. But since I started with you, I was able to just find the right path right away. And I was able to learn correctly. And since then, it's been a lot of fun.
I can share from my journey. I learned early on not to tell anybody. And I share this often in stream when I stream is no one, even when you make it, because they know you, they still don't believe it and they still think you're going to fail. They still think, and maybe it's the way Hollywood portrays trading, and oftentimes people, like you said, people just think you're going to be trading stocks and they don't realize you could trade crypto, Forex, futures. You're not just trading Apple, and you're
Yeah.
not,
Tesla.
doing hookers and blow like the Wolf of Wall Street, right? I mean, some of us might, but it's,
But
and
you can
maybe you'll get there, but
but you can trade safely. You can manage trades you can have manageable risk, especially if you're trading smart and correctly using a system that allows you to do that.
yeah, but see that even this is where I would suggest, and to get to the crux of what really you should do to keep your sanity so that you can focus on trading is number one, don't tell anybody until you're successful that you're trading. Number two, that no one's going to support you. Even the people, I'm just telling you right now, I've learned it firsthand. People that I thought would be behind me 100%, that would say, "Go ahead, go for it, believe in me," still doubted me, and even when I made it, still didn't believe that there's some other reason for my success besides me just sitting down, grinding, doing the work, coming up with a system that has edge, and trading it every single day. So I would suggest anybody that's in your situation and you're just getting started, do yourself a favor, and you can tell people, but just nonchalantly do it. Don't make it a big deal. Don't and don't tell them, even if the second you get home, let's say you have a job and you're looking to transition from a job to trading, the second you get home, all you focus on is trading and figuring out your trade system and executing a trade system, or maybe you're an alpha and you're adopting our system. You should not tell anybody else. It will save you a lot of heartache. I mean, do you agree with that? Would you agree with that after now what kind of you've gone through, or how would you approach it differently?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I wouldn't tell anybody now. Going back, I mean, there's only a couple people who have truly sat there behind me through the whole process, and obviously one has been my girl, but she's gone through deployments with me. She's as dedicated as they come. That's something special that I have there. But other than that, I probably wouldn't tell anybody, because no, like you said, no one's gonna trust in your abilities to trade the market because they don't believe that's a thing. Because they think all of stocks and Wolf of Wall Street. They think the craziest schematics, but you can sit there and read charts and make money. We do it every single day.
And do you think if you even sat down with them for an hour and said, "Hey, let's read some charts," would it wouldn't change their mind, would it? It's kind of a leading question, but
No, I don't think it would. I mean, I've talked to them. I even explained how we're doing it, how we're just looking at charts, and how it's the freest form of capitalism in the world, the only one left. It's the true money maker, but nobody sees it as that. Everyone sees it as like a quick way to make money, or you buy here and you make a bunch of money, or you lose a bunch. But there's way more to trading than just that. But everyone will think you're crazy, so don't tell them. Work on yourself, get your money up, and then nobody can say anything to you, or you don't have to listen to what they have to say to you. Honestly,
exactly. Which is a good segue for me to cover my perspective on trading, which is, while I don't think you're crazy, I think you're crazy not to be a trader. I think in today's day and age, how I'm not going to say easy. I don't want to, but an easy in air quotes. But the tools available, the markets to trade, the sheer amount of markets with low capital requirements. If you have a good system, there's never been a better opportunity to to use your capital in the capital markets and to speculate with the tools and the ease of trading than today. It's never been easier. So I think you would be, no matter what you're doing in life, I think you're crazy not to build the skill of trading and have it play a role in your wealth accumulation in your life, because it is a skill
preach.
like riding a bike. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, preach it.
So it's a skill that, yes, it's difficult, but once you develop a style of trading that works for you and your lifestyle and how you want trading to be expressed in your life, it's something you can go back to time and time again. So it truly is one of those skills that you can. I think one of the misnomers out there is that, and this comes, I don't know if it comes from the books out there or other YouTubers or other gurus or whatever else, I don't know. You can literally design a trade system around any life. Person I trained in real life to trade years ago only has 2 or 3 hours a week max to trade. And he's wildly successful with his trades because those 1 to 3 hours that he has a week, he sits down in front of charts and makes trade decisions within a minute of each position he's in. He does his technical analysis really quickly, and then he sets up his executions for the week. And then he gets notifications on fills, and then maybe once a week in the middle of the week he'll check and just verify stop losses are in place, everything else, and he moves on with his busy life, his kids and his family and everything else he has going on.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Yeah, and just all you have to do is go to Twitter and realize that if once you get good at recognizing what's the nice way to say this? The traders that are clueless and the traders that actually trade the markets, you'll find that there is 1,000 different ways to trade the markets. And even if and I say this often, if you're looking at any training, not just talking about, we'll get into a little bit about what we do here. We have a trade system. The number one thing I tell people right away, and I've told you, NephewElite, is that you can't trade my system. I created it. I created it based on my personality, my conviction. Now, you could trade 95% of it, but that 5%, you need to make your own, because that 5% is actually drastically important, because that 5% is tuned to your personality, how you interpret what you've learned. What's your thoughts on that? What do you think about that? What has been your experience of making the system your own?
Well, first, I did not believe you when you told me that. I 100% believe that I would just have to follow everything that you said and trade it, and then I'd be profitable. And I realized real quickly that we do not have the same minds, so obviously I cannot trade exactly how you're going to trade. And adapting the system to my own came with several failures. I mean, constant failures, constant loss, and realizing what I needed to do to control myself to understand the system. And that came from understanding I need a control chart and I need to manage my risk and pull out early. That's like the biggest things that affected my trading and made
Oh,
it
you should
kind of my own.
always pull out early. That's just general
Always,
life advice.
always pull out early. But pulling out of a bad position and restarting, at first I could not do that. I was like, I cannot take my own loss. I can't take money out of my own pocket. That just for me mentally wasn't a good feeling. But understanding that, coming to terms with it, and doing it now has made me profitable. Like, every time I'm at a bad position, I will restart at the next reaction area. And that alone has changed my trading. And before I couldn't do that. And some people can't. Some people let the trade breathe the whole time. They do diamond hands. That's how I used to trade. But I became very vengeful because of that. I was like Batman. But
So is there anything that in your mind you think about it? You're very different in the way that you see me trade the system. You're trading the same system, the same philosophy,
mhm,
highly effective system, one of the best speculation systems ever developed, but
100%.
you've adapted it to you. Is there something that sticks out that's majorly different that I do that you don't do?
I think that you have mastered it so well and you've had so much time with it that, like, the reversals, I hardly ever reverse. But I do tend to, I think, for my own, I will jump into impulsive long side pushes just because I see a level change and if I'm looking at the correct analysis, I'll jump in those trades. That's something I do. That's not doesn't really apply to the system, but usually I'm looking at several things and I can jump in a trade and I usually don't lose money on those trades. That's the one thing. But other than that, I can't really think of anything right now
Okay. I just
on the
was
spot.
curious. No, and but you would agree 100% now. Well, first you said you didn't believe it. You believe it now though, right?
Oh yeah, I mean you have to adapt it to your own, and you want to because now you trade it with conviction because you don't have trust in the system, but you have conviction with it because you've seen these tests happen. You've back tested it even without really back testing it. You've seen the proof of it. You've seen these tests. You've seen these reaction zones, and you can now trade them with confidence. Um,
That's why I've answered this question before to get more personal around what we do here. You're never going to see testimonials on our site. If there is testimonials in some rare world, the testimonial will be something along the lines, the Rexdog system was a trade system that I could adapt to my personality and my trade style. It won't be, I got the system and it had this P&L, because the first thing we cover in the training, the first thing that we reiterate almost daily is you need to make the trade system your own. You need to put your own stamp on it. Otherwise, like you said it, you're not going to trade it with conviction.
mhm.
You don't have ownership of that system. You're never going to trade it to its full potential. So you basically have to take the knowledge that you get from the system, put it in a box, and rebrand it your own trade system. That's really
100%.
what you need to do.
That's a great way to explain it, actually.
So we should just talk here what the show is going forward, some of our ideas, why we have the hubris to think that the world needs another trading podcast, how we can be unique, how we can ensure that you're going to subscribe and that every episode that shows up, you're going to be looking forward to listen to. So do you want to start with that or do you want me to start?
You can probably start.
See, I knew you were
I'll
going
be
to
your
put it on me.
backup. I'll be your
I knew you were
backup,
going to
though.
put it on me. In my view, the value that we can bring is that we're actually trading the markets. I trade futures, forex, equities, crypto, options. I've been trading for I don't since 2017, late 2016. I've been a profitable trader. I've since that time I've been in air quotes, out there on YouTube as a trader. I stream my trades quite a few times a week. My nephew streams as well his trades. We have a training. We trained other traders. We have a trade room where traders show up. The traders that are in our system show up and discuss the system and them adapting it and trading in real time and talking about their trades. So we have this perspective, and I know there's other people out there that have this perspective too. But one of the things I don't know how to say this nicely, so I'm just going to say it. I couldn't find any show out there that was talking about trading in the way that it's done today for, I'd say, the retail trader, the non button up trader, the way that we do it, the way that we execute. And actually, Always In, the name of the show, that is the reason why it's named that is because the system that we trade is always in. Because
Hell yeah.
when I created the trade system that people are adopting, and I know I'm talking about us, so if you're new to us, you can check us out at Rex Dog Trading. You can learn more about kind of what we do. You can see me streaming. I've been streaming for over a year, so you can go back. I share my P&L on the website.
What was your P&L today?
I don't know, 130 or something. So when I designed the trade system, and I bought other trade systems, I bought other training, I thought it was asinine. I thought it was insane that you're not always in the market. If the market's moving, I want to be making money and pulling money from the market. So why the heck would I not trade a system that tells me how to be always into the market? That is just that's what trading's. I know trading, I say this, trading is about waiting. It is. But at the same time, if the market is moving and you're just sitting there watching it move without you, what the heck are you doing? Are you trading? Are you trying to put your capital to play? I understand it's a risk, but if you don't have a trade system that's not always in or doesn't tell you how to be always in, well, maybe you just want to trade at certain
Here and
times. I
there,
get
yeah.
it. But to me, it makes no sense. It makes zero sense especially if you want to be a full-time trader. If you want to be a full-time trader and you don't have an always in system where you can pull capital from the market, regardless of the direction of the market, regardless
Daily.
of the day, daily. Did it make sense to you when you first learned about trading and I introduced that concept to you? Did it make sense to you?
Yeah. Why is no one doing this? This is crazy.
Yeah. And then when you went out on your little, Robin, or not Robin Hood, but Red Robin. Is it Red Robin? Who's that chick in the woods with the wolves?
Oh, Robin Hood. Or no, wait. Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
The heck?
When you went on your little Red Riding Hood discovery of other trading out there, what did you discover? Did you discover similar systems or similar people having the same attitude? Or I'm just curious because I haven't looked out there recently.
There's words I shouldn't use on here but what I found was not what I find here. That's what I'll say, for sure.
Did you find other perspectives that you should, if the market's moving, you should be with it?
Almost no one has that. That's why it's so different here. And a lot of people, I watched one YouTuber who talked about he was waiting months to get into a trade on his one system. He was waiting for the perfect reactionary, perfect level, and he still missed his entry by quite a bit, but he made like 6,000 or something like that. I was like, you could have made 6,000 this week if you just did daily trades in the futures, but instead you're waiting months for one trade. But if that's what you have to trade, I understand that, but why not be always in trading? It just feels like a baller thing to do. You feel like a real trader because you're scalping capital from the market. It's an amazing feeling as well.
Even if you're not scalping, even if you're just swing,
even if you're swing trading.
Yeah. So that's one aspect of it, but and that kind of encompasses where the difference that we bring, that we will consistently bring, is a fresh take. I even hate that phrase. I guess a fresh take, a different way, a different perspective that you probably haven't heard, and ways to look at the market and ways to look at trading
and predict the market.
Yeah, I believe, and there is people that do say you can predict the market, and obviously the longer you expand that time frame, the harder the prediction becomes. But even then, like for instance, the Rexdog average, the RDA, that you can use that as a prediction. Actually, the NQ, as we are talking and recording this episode, is potentially going back for a RDA test that it hasn't done in months, and it looks like it's setting up for that. And that's potentially a multi-week move that's underway that we're in the early stages of predicting.
The RDA makes me feel like a demigod in the market, just because nothing can stop me once off the first test of RDA.
I don't know if that's the right attitude I would suggest, but I get it.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's why what I want I want us to have a conversation here. I'd like us to bring in some alphas to have conversations. I'd like us to potentially do some interviews, some stuff. I want us to really mix it up, do it in different ways than what's out there. We don't really have to talk about it. We should just execute. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to execute it. But if you want to know what you can come to expect, it's going to be a different take on the markets, on what is generally out there, because we trade a system and we trade a style daily, and we teach a style daily that is contrary to many of the other axioms out there in trading, many of the other things that you read in books. And it's not just to be different. It's because it's what friggin' works. Like,
That's what freaking works. Yeah.
I don't care about the news. I don't care about fundamentals. I do track them sometimes, but every time I do, it destroys my P&L because I trade news or stupid fundamentals. When I trade just the chart and don't argue with the chart, I do really well. I don't need anything but the data that's on the chart.
There's nothing like that feeling, just so you know. Just trading charts. It's not having to worry about news. I for example, sorry to interrupt you. For example, I have a buddy of mine who's trying to get into trading, and the first thing he's talking to me about, because he knows I trade, he's one of my close friends, and he's asking me those questions like, "Oh, I heard about this, this stock, this news, and this," and he's like, "I'm not sure if I should get in here, pull my money out," and I'm like, "Dude, get away from this. Come to the futures market. Watch how you don't need news. Watch how you can." Unless it's a huge news event, like the FOMC or something, it does not matter. You can trade just these charts. And that alone blew his mind. He's like, I don't have to listen to news. Like, how am I going to know if stuff's going to go up or down? I was like, you could just analyze the chart, brother. It blows his mind. It blows everyone's mind if you even talk to it. People that are traders who have been trading for a long time, hop in our Discord, are just mind blown that we're just sitting here trading charts. But isn't that the simplest form of trading? It's crazy that. Anyways, I won't go on a rant, but that's just a quick example of how it is.
Yeah, and so some of the future shows that we're looking at is obviously talk about risk management, have it be more of a conversation between my nephew and I. The value that you're getting from it is actionable value. It's just not philosophy. It's just not, hey, here's our philosophy. No, this is like what we're doing. This is how we're executing it. This is how we think about it, and this is why.
We're just very passionate.
Yeah, it's what we do. I'd be doing this even if we weren't out there publicly and didn't have a group. We'd be doing this. We'd be just as passionate anyways. One of the reasons why I got out there publicly is because I couldn't find another group that believed in the concepts and the ideas that I saw working in the market, that I saw every single day, that no one was really executing on or trading with. And I wanted to create a like community of people that thought the same way, that wanted to trade the same way. So that's one of the humbling things of where we're at right now, is that our community grows every day, and we're seeing traders become successful and really grow into their own kind of next level, elite level traders. That's probably a good way to wrap up the first episode. The next thing you want to do is subscribe wherever you're listening to this. This is being distributed in basically any podcast network out there that you can find. It's also on our website at rexdogtrading.com. You'll see a show link actually in the actual menu. If you're in Discord, you'll see where to subscribe as well. Is there anything else you want to add, NephewElite, before we end the first episode?
Not today, I don't think so.
Well, sweet. Well, we'll probably come up with some kind of badass way to go out.
Yeah,
But
eventually.
until then, let's just go out lame. So we'll see you
guys.
see you guys in the next episode.
It's time to get started with one of the best trade systems ever created in humankind. Visit rexdogtrading.com and discover how to consistently and reliably pull capital from the markets.